Okay, good afternoon. Mustafa, can you hear me? Can you hear my voice? Fantastic, thanks. Nice to meet you. I'll do an introduction later when some people come in. I'm very disappointed no one else is here at the moment, and they're late. This week one is very important. So if anyone's listening to this live recording, I hope that you come in, because what's happening is I have to go through the information over and over and over and over again. I have to keep going over, answering 10 people per day, the same questions. So everyone should be here in the live lab and should be here on time. So we'll start in about 3 minutes. Now, because Mustafa, you're here on time, have you got, I want to help you, I want to give you the first preference here. Have you been able to log into your Azure lab as yet? Can you get access to your labs? Oh, fantastic. And have you had any, oh, thank you for that. How do I pronounce your name? Is it Zian? Zian, is that how I pronounce it? Zach. Thank you, Zach. Oh, perfect. So you guys are doing well. Perfect. I'm happy to hear that. Okay. Welcome, Ethan. Oh, okay. How'd you go? How was your job interview? How was it? Hopefully, you had an okay time. Hopefully, it went well. Always nervous time, isn't it? Oh, fantastic, Mustafa. Very nice. Wow, is that cool? Yeah, good. Well, hopefully you get that job, and you can start the journey. No problems. You're welcome. All right. Well, looks like people are coming in bit by bit. Um, please, if you can all come on time, because I understand you have work commitments and you got other issues. I understand, but today is a really important, very important video, because a lot of people have not been able to get into the labs, um, and for various different reasons. So I'm going to explain exactly how to get access to the labs and why you may not be getting access to the labs. So I'll start in 1 minute. In 1 minute, I'm going to formally introduce myself to everyone. In about a minute, yeah. All right, we're going to start now. It's 6:10. We should start at 6 because I only have you for an hour, and some of these labs go for an hour. And if you need help, I only have that small window of opportunity. Sometimes I can go over that hour. It depends if I've got a class after. Sometimes I do 2 classes in the same day. It just really depends. But please, if everyone can try to make it on 6. I know that you have work, there's tram delays. I think there's a storm outside today. I get that. So, but if everyone can come on time, that'd be great. Today's actually a very important lesson because I want to introduce a few of the topics, and most importantly, I want to show you how to get into the labs if you haven't been able to. So I've got 5 people other than me. I have Ethan, Hugo, Mustafa, Sasi, Kumar, and Zach. I know that Zach, Mustafa, you can get into the labs. Is anyone else having problem accessing the labs, or does anyone not know how to get into the labs? Anyone having problems with that? I just want to get a general picture. All good? Everyone's okay with the labs? Checking now. Okay. So Hugo, anyway, I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll start the introductions and we'll go straight into the lab section. I'll just show you how to do it. Okay, so that's me. I'm currently working casually as an online learning advisor and a unit coordinator at Swinburne, although I'm taking a lot of units at the moment, so I'm almost full-time really. But in my day job, I do teach at RMIT University. I was working at the Royal Australian Navy. I was there as a technical instructor, but I finished up about a month ago, so I'm no longer in the Navy anymore. And before that, I was teaching the Army and the Air Force at Box Hill Institute. All right, that's me there in Japan having a good time. With my best friend over there, Godzilla. Tokyo, beautiful place, my favorite place, I think, almost my favorite place in the world. Oh yeah, amazing place. Hong Kong, a close second. Hong Kong is a close second to Tokyo. All right, so this unit of Hong Kong, I love Hong Kong, beautiful place. So now, this is, great, Hugo, wonderful, that's good news. Some people have been having problems, but that's a good start. Now, this is what you're going to learn, and by the end of this unit, you are going to be experts. Should I just double check that one? Hang on a sec. Sorry. I have got the wrong one. I have the wrong one. Sorry, I've got the wrong information there. That's definitely not it. Let me get the other one. Let me get the other one, shall I? You'll be experts. Don't worry, Mustafa, for sure. Absolutely, you'll be experts. I've got to find the proper PowerPoint. So I need to be an expert in getting the right PowerPoint presentations. That's so strange. I thought I had the right one up and running. Here we go. I've got it. I have the right one this time. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's it. Okay, I've got the right one now, so let's start again. So we're going to be experts, all of us, in assessing a secure network access strategy. You will be able to configure advanced IP management using DHCP and DNS. I love DHCP and DNS, and the reason I love these the most is when you install them and set them up, you can walk away, you forget about them. If you do them properly at the beginning, if you do them the right configurations at the beginning, in some ways we will, Zach, in some form we'll do that. If you ever want to talk about it, like even if it's not a part of this course, I'm more than happy to go over with Nat with you. Welcome to everyone who's just arrived. Now the next part we're going to do, troubleshoot network access. So one of the troubleshooting exercises is sometimes you have a Windows 10 machine, for example, and it's configured for DHCP, and it tries to go out and get a IP address from a DHCP server. Okay, and something goes wrong. It's not getting that IP address. It's pretty common. So this is an example of some troubleshooting techniques. Maybe the scope is wrong. Maybe we've got a static IP address on the Windows 10 machine, maybe there's some other issue. So we're going to go through some network troubleshooting. We're going to, yeah, layer 3. It could be other things too. It could be a layer 2 issue, and it could be a layer 8 issue. The most common of all issues known in the IT is a layer 8 issue. Does anyone know what a layer 8? 99% of all problems is a layer 8 issue. You don't know a layer 8? Come on, guys, you don't know layer 8? I'll give you a clue. Yep. A layer 8 is a creature that walks on 2 legs, right? Very clumsy. Can't type properly. Can't type. It's a Harry. Layer 8 is Harry issue. That's me. That's exactly humans. Yep. Most of the time, it's going to be an issue with us, the configuration. So Windows Server will accept, a lot of the times, will accept our logical errors. So it will, we'll configure something incorrectly, and it'll accept it. Yeah. It's up to us to make sure we're doing it properly. So yeah, I'm going to give you some tools and strategies for troubleshoot layer network access. We're going to consider Windows Server deployment and migration strategies. So if you have a Windows 12 machine, I don't know why you would have a Windows 12 machine anymore, but there's some floating out there. There's some floating around. I've seen them in even in secure environments. Sometimes there's apps, legacy apps that cannot be supported by Windows 2016. But how would we migrate those? How would we consider upgrading them? We're going to look at managed server role requirements, managed server and data security, and we're going to appraise policy strategy within an Active Directory. That, that pretty much is what that is. You might have worked on it already. That's pretty much a group policy object, where we're going to create a policy that gets deployed on our whole infrastructure. Yep. GPO, group policy object. Active Directory. So we're going to be really, really heavy into the Windows Server environment. I've got a Cloudflare t-shirt. I should get a Microsoft t-shirt, because we're going to be 100% deep into Microsoft. Just for your own background information, Microsoft has absolutely dominated business and enterprises. There was a brief period in the late 90s, early 2000s, where Microsoft had a really small competitor called, I forgot the name of it, it's been such a long time ago. So long ago. They don't even have a competitor anymore. Active Directory absolutely smashes everything out. It's so powerful and strong. Now, something I wanted to mention. There's a lot of mention about Windows 2016 in this course, in this unit and all the other units, okay? 2016, right? Now, there is 2022, 2019, and 2025 is just about to be released. 2016, 19, 22, 25, absolutely no difference in terms of the functionality. If you know Windows 2016, you know 2025. It's not like 2003, 2007, 2012. There are big differences between those iterations. Yes, they are, but they're just about to release 2025. Zach, 2025 is just about to be released. The developers have had their hands on it for a bit already. Very, very small, minor difference. Like, Windows 10 and Windows 11, really, it's not that big a difference. It's just the aesthetics. It's just the look of it. It's not that much difference. Under the hood, it's still a Lamborghini under the hood. You can put a BMW frame around it. You can put a Tesla, but in the engine itself is a Lamborghini, right? PlayStation 4 and 5. I think PlayStation 5 was a pretty good leap. I think the Xbox One and the new one, Series X, whatever. I think that was not much of a leap, but I think PlayStation 4 and 5 was some sort of leap. Although we never upgraded to PS5 in this house, which I don't know. PS4 is good for us. I'm happy with it. All right, now, so these are our assignments. We've got assignment 1, which is 9 weekly quizzes. Every week there's a quiz. When you finish all of those quizzes, that will contribute to your 4% for assignment 1. A lab journal, which is 8%. You do have a graded exam. You have a couple of exams actually. Now the graded exam, I'm going to provide more information out to you all as we get closer to that date. Some of the details we're still hasn't been given to us 100% yet. We haven't got the full details of it yet, but when we do, I will definitely communicate that with you. So there's 2 tests. One is due on the 14th of December. You can view all this in the assignment section, but one on the 14th of December and one on February 1st. And that's going to be a total of 16 of the way, which is, you want to do well in this one. Assignment 4 is practical skill test. There's only a 2% weighting on it, but you know what? Have fun with that anyway. There's 2 parts, one due on the 30th and one on the 30th of December and one on the 4th of February. Okay, then we have some important stuff coming up now. We've got an assignment 5, which is a practical skills exam, and that's worth 20. So it's getting bigger now, getting serious. More details for that when I get them. Okay, when I get those details, I've got some limited information for that. It will be around about week 7. Exact dates. Wait a second, sorry. The exact date of the exam will be published in the exam timetable, and it will be published after week 7. Okay. So it should be around. I don't know. I won't speculate. I'll tell you more when we get there, when we get too close. But I do know it's around about a 60-minute practical skills exam. It doesn't tell me what's on that exam just yet. Okay. I'll talk to you a little bit more about that when we get closer to that. And then finally, the big one. This is the big one. Theory exam. And that's worth 50%. Again, I don't have the full details just yet. I'll tell you what I know. And this is the first time I'm running this unit, so I'll tell you what I know. After week 7, that will give you an exact date. The questions will be what we've been covering throughout this unit in your own reading. So you're reading the learning materials, the discussion boards, and any questions you have. So that will be that. So that's more. In other words, more details to come. I don't know, Zach. Honestly, I'm sorry. I don't have the answer to that. I hate saying that I don't know. I don't like saying I don't know, but we'll get there. We'll burn that bridge when we get there. All right, so now let's see. I think we've got a few people popping in. Welcome, Daniel, Pete. Who else has popped in? Justin, welcome, Justin. I think I've got everyone welcomed. Hey, Matt, g'day. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to show you how to go into the labs. If you haven't already jumped into the labs yet, what you do is you go to Azure. labs.azure.com/virtual machine. I'm just going to copy that and give this to all of you here. Now, that's if you've accepted the invitation. I've got some other subjects here, by the way, but the one that we're looking for is this one here. Okay. That's the one we're going to look at. We're going to focus on. So I'm going to click that tile button and start it in the background. So while I'm waiting for that, If you haven't got your invitation for the Azure Labs, now's the time to tell me, because if you tell me now, I'll send that invitation like right now, if you're here in this room. If you're listening to this as a recording, please email, say, Harry, look, I don't have the invitation yet. Could you send it to me? I'll do that for you. Everyone got their invitation? Everyone's logged in? Everyone's good with this? Cool. All right, so yeah, you're good, Justin? Good. Sasi Kumar? Good, excellent. You guys are switched on. Excellent, Mustafa, well done. Nice. So I'm just waiting here. I don't know if any of you are on a Mac, but Mac is should be okay as well. There's a RDP application or Windows app or something. You can use Mac on this as well, no problems. Mac is fine. Mac is good. I like Mac, but they don't do virtual machines very well. So for Swinburne and for my class, where I teach at RMIT, I have to get a PC. This what I'm using now is a PC because I play games on this PC, and I play games that can't be played on the Mac. So, and I do other stuff too that you can't really do much. You can't really do on the Mac. So yeah, so good. Yeah, good gaming PC. Although mine's starting to struggle now. My yeah, perhaps maybe Zach, maybe. I don't play that much games that anymore. I've been so busy. But while that's loading, I'm going to fill in a bit of time. There's a game that I'm playing at the moment, which is called Dystopica. Dystopica. I'll quickly show you what that looks like. All you do is build buildings in futuristic buildings. That's it. That's the only point to the game. It's that's all, and it is so cool. It's such a cool game. You've got the other ones, yeah. The other ones. I think you build a swimming pool. I haven't got that one yet, swimming pool one. But this is such a cool game. You just build cities. It's like a cyberpunk, but you get to build the cities, and that's it. There's no purpose to it. There's no side quest. It's just build the city. So that's what I'm playing at the moment when I get time. And it's got good music in the background. Yeah, I did take a couple of snapshots of that. Okay, great. So now I'm running this. Okay, so this is up and running. Now, just a caution. When you leave this, when you finish your lab, make sure you turn it off. Otherwise, you'll waste hours because you've only got 40 hours. It's not that much actually. If you run out of the 40 hours, let me know. I'll try to get you some more time. Yeah, so just open that RDP. You'll get something like this here. Connect, and you'll get this one here. When you get to this stage, click on More Choices. Click on Use a Different Account. Type in student and type in password. PA55W.RD, D for Delta. And my advice is to never select Remember Me in a production environment, in an enterprise, just in case someone steals your laptop or someone's shoulder surfing or someone grabs your keyboard while you're going out and getting a coffee. But we're in a lab, so why not? I'm going to do it, okay? And then I'll get the remote desktop connection. This is what it looks like in the background, and it should download. I was trying to help a student who had an issue with the RDP, and it, you have to install. RDP on a Windows should not be a problem, but it is on a Mac sometimes. All right, so that's loading now. So far, so good. By the way, I know that all of you are okay with this. It's just a lot of people will be listening to this as a recording. They might not know this, so that's why I'm going over this again for everyone. Fantastic. So now we'll go over to our unit and we'll have a look at the modules section. The modules is where you do your self-learning. A lot of this unit is self-learning. You have me an hour a week for our live lab sessions. I will go over the lab with you. That's my role as a live, as your unit coordinator and online learning advisor. I'm going to help you with the lab. So what you need to do is try the lab yourself first before you come in here, and I'll try to troubleshoot with you as well. Okay, I will. Yeah, we can. By the way, that brings me to my next point. I do have a Discord server that I do just for fun. There's you don't have to come here, if you want, but I do sometimes do tutorials. I teach at RMIT and another RTO, and I've got like almost like 100 students all over the world that I just do fun, and it's growing very quickly. So I do Cisco tutorials, Windows. If you guys, it's getting bigger now, so I'm gonna have to get some help, I think. But I do cybersecurity classes. I do server. I do Cisco. I've got a CCNP. I've got a master's in cyber. So I just like to. So what we can do is that once you've done this lab, you can come in, and this is a place for everyone just to work together and just do some extra stuff. I'll give you an invitation link. It's pretty cool. It's getting really, really big all of a sudden. Like a week ago, I had 3 people, and I'm getting up to like 70 people now. It's growing really fast. Yeah. There we go. Nice. I've got a couple of people coming in. You love security, yeah? Yeah. You'll come to the right place. I'm going to, by the way, I'm going to the Cisco Live event on Monday, and then at the end of this month, I'm going over to CyberCon, both in Melbourne, in the Melbourne Centre. So what I'm going to go over there is I'm going to start talking with vendors and other organisations there, because there's a shortage of qualified year 2 cybersecurity employees, but it's very hard to get that into that first job in cybersecurity. And I'm going to try and work with some organizations to break that barrier for entry-level cybersecurity jobs. So I'll be doing that when I go to CyberCon, and also Cisco Live next week. That's another pet project I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get that connection, to do that network with organizations. Yeah, I have not, Zach. I haven't been. I've been to the US. I've been to Vegas, where I did some training. So I paid for training, but I never went to a DEF CON or any other conferences in the US, unfortunately. But it is on my bucket list. I absolutely really do want to go. I'll have to self-fund it, because I don't think anyone will do that for me. Now, so this is our weekly modules. Weekly modules. And what you do is click on this, introduce yourselves in the discussion board. So we're going to heavily use the discussion board. Okay. We can use, since everyone's starting to use Discord, I've already got another 5 people joining on, which is awesome. We can use that as well. If you ask me a question in Discord, I'll answer you like in minutes, okay? Because I've got it on my phone 24 hours a day. I don't sleep. I don't have a life. Teaching and IT, that's my life and passion. So I do have a family and kids, and yeah, I spend some times with them, and a cat as well. 1 cat. The cat hates me though. It looks at me and it just doesn't like me. So what you have to do this week is read through this content, learn a bit about DNS, domain name system, learn a bit about DHCP, IPAM, a bit of IPAM is good, and then implementing. So in our lab 1 today, we're going to do a little bit of this lab because we're not running out of we don't have that much time, which is a good reason to come on time. Yeah. Thanks, Zach. I appreciate it. We're gonna have fun. So Zach, the main thing is let's enjoy this. Let's make this fun. Let's have a good time. Well, let's talk about games now and then. Let's talk about the cybersecurity world. Let's see why this is relevant. This stuff is relevant in the real world. That's the main thing. Otherwise, yep. So the lab session, we're going to implement. Yeah, really. Oh, you know each other, do you? Okay. So lab A implementing DNS, lab B implementing DHCP. This I think you guys have probably done this already by the sounds of it. You sound like you're pretty switched on, but let's do this anyway. So what the aim is we're going to install and configure a DNS zone. We'll configure conditional forwarding. We're going to test the DNS. These are the virtual machines that we're going to use. So where are those virtual machines? Hyper-V over here. And they're here waiting for us. So I'm sure you'll be fine, Mustafa. You're gonna do well. So I've got a little bit of interesting information for you. VMware absolutely dominated the virtual hypervisor world, but since Broadcom bought it a few months ago, it's completely collapsing. They're losing customers everywhere. Customers are just trying to find other hypervisors. So VMware is just falling apart. Broadcom just is destroying it, right? Hyper-V, which is Microsoft's implementation of a hypervisor, which you can use on your Windows 10 and 11 machines if you want. If you've got a Windows 10 or 11 Pro edition, you can enable Hyper-V as an option. I think it's under features and turn Windows features on and off. And you go over if you've got Windows 10 or 11. Yep. And you enable that, and you've got a free hypervisor. You don't need VMware. Oh God, you don't need VirtualBox. Thank God. VirtualBox is horrible. Hyper-V is very, very robust and stable, very strong. So this is a good tool to learn. This is a very, very good strong tool. You can even go and buy a server. You can buy them on eBay or on Facebook Marketplace, like $200-300, a real server. Whack Hyper-V Hyper-V hypervisor on it for free. The non-desktop version. There's no desktop on it. Free and legal. Microsoft's saying, here, go, take it, it's yours. And you can run all your virtual machines on it if you like. The one that I use Proxmox server. I'll show you what Proxmox looks like. This is open source and very powerful. I run a lot of Docker containers. This is Proxmox that I use. I use this because I like to fire up containers. So I've got a Cloudflare tunnel. I have Wazar, which is a SIEM that I monitor all my family's devices on. I've got a pfSense, which is a firewall. I've got all my Linux and Kali machines and Windows and Mac. I've even got I can even run Mac OS on this as well. I found a little legally because I own a Mac, so I can use it. I hope it's legal. And I've got other stuff too. Metasploitable. If I want to practice my hacking skills, I've got a media server where I've got all my legally acquired DVDs and Blu-ray, which I've backed up on this media server. So yeah, I like I said, I don't have a life. This is the thing that I love doing the most. So, but where I've got to get where's my screen? I've lost you all. Hang on a sec. Where are you? Hello, where are you? Sorry, give me a second because I've lost you off this. I've lost the screen. Hang on a sec. Sorry about this. I've lost you all. I've got so many windows open. I can't see anyone. Oh, there it is. There it is. There we go. Got you now. Got you back. Absolutely, Zach. Definitely, 100%. 100%. Absolutely, I'm really passionate about it for sure. All right. So so we've got 20 minutes. Let's see what we can do in 20 minutes. We'll do some of the lab. So for the next lab, do as much of the lab as you can, and then come into class at 6 p.m. and then say, Harry, look, I couldn't get this working, and then we'll try to fix it together as a team. If everyone is really going well with it, no issues, we can just continue on with the lab. As you know, it's lab time. It's your lab time. It's getting you up and running. Okay, so I've got to get the lab. Okay, there we go. All right, perfect. So we're going to launch Hyper-V Manager. We're going to revert all the required virtual machines. I think that's already done. Ensure all VMs are on the Hawthorne network and have IP address in the same subnet. We're going to click that the Active Directory, the directory controller. We're going to connect to it, and then we're going to go into it. So first thing is first. Let's make sure all the VMs are on the Hawthorne network. Does it tell us how to do it? I know how to do it, but I want to see if it actually shows us how to do that. Maybe not. All right. So we've got the Hawthorne network. So what we do is we go over to our, we go over here to our virtual switch manager. Click on that, and we can see the Hawthorne network there. So all of these should be on the Hawthorne network, and it's a private network, so it's not exposed to. It can't hurt other parts of the network, I hope. So we go right click and we can go to settings, and we can make sure that if I'm looking for the network adapter, so that's on Hawthorne. So let's check this out. Where is it? Oh yeah, there it is. That's on Hawthorne, and that should be on Hawthorne. Yep, it's on the Hawthorne network. Okay, they're all on Hawthorne. Hawthorne is it's where the main campus of Swinburne Online Campus is. The Hawthorne campus. Yeah, I think it's on Glen Ferry, something. I don't know. Yeah, so you learned that stuff. Cool, excellent. So Mustafa, looks like you're switched on. So let's move. Let's go to the next stage. All right. So now we will go to. I've got two screens. So where are you? I lost my screen again. Okay, so all right, yeah, let's go back to the labs, and I think I need a third screen. I'm gonna buy a new screen. Labs 1.6. Yep. All right, there we go. I've got it again. All right, so lab exercise 1. All right, so now we're here. Not that one. We've got to go back to the Hyper-V manager. So what we're going to do is configure a reverse lookup zone for an IP name resolution. So reverse lookup is we're going to match an IP address to a name. So not match a name to an IP. We're going to match the IP to a name. So it's in reverse. And then we're going to install DNS server role, enable configure zone transfers, create the required secondary zone, and configure time to live, aging, and scavenging. Very important to read the material, the course content in this. If none of this makes any sense to you, we can do something. I'll get some extra resources. I could teach you the theoretical concepts. But let's go to switch SWIN 22DC. 22DC, here we go. We're going to right click and we're going to start. Don't worry. You don't have to, Zach. Don't worry. That stuff is annoying for me too. Yeah, it's annoying. Now, right click that again and connect to it. So this is for the students who need a bit of, who haven't had that exposure to Windows server technology. I might go to the basics a little bit sometimes now and then. So now we're doing a bit of an inception or matrix kind of thing, a VM within a VM. I've worked in organizations where it's a VM, an RDP into a VM, into a VM, into another jump box, and into a Cisco router. So tough to know exactly where you are sometimes. You get lost. It's exactly like Inception. Okay, now the password I believe is I think it's password. It would help if I'm typing something in there. Okay. Does anyone know the password to this? Yeah, that's what I put in. I put that in. You know what? I did capital B, P. Yeah, so I've got to do this instead. PA 55 W dot RD. Hang on. Let's try that again. Okay, so yeah, that's it. That should be it. No, password incorrect. Okay, what was it again? It's capital? Okay. Oh, thank you for that. So that's capital P. Yeah, all right. But I did that the first time. I did it, It's like, no, it's okay. I did with capital P. Anyway. Again, layer 8 issue. All right, so now we're in Windows. We're in the domain controller. And what we want to be doing now is we're going to do we need to configure, we're going to resolve an IP address of a particular host to a fully qualified domain name. So we're going to get an IP address, and when someone types that IP address, or when a service uses that IP address, we'll link to a host name. The reason you want to do that, and I'll just give you a bit of a hint. Say, for example, you have a file server, and that file server, you've got an IP address, and that IP address is always going to be that file server. That file, so 192.168.10.15, that's always a file server, no matter what happens. But the file server itself might change. We might bring in another file server, might change the file address location, and that will upgrade it. But that IP address is always going to be a file server. That's important for web-based like databases, like that. So that's why we like to do a reverse lookup. Sorry. So let's do this now. So we're going to click on, we'll go over to, where are we? And there's other reasons for reverse lookups as well. But we'll go to Tools and we'll go to DNS. And we'll drag that over here. And we're going to go over to a reverse lookup zone. Right click and we'll go to new zone. It doesn't have one there. let's try that again. So we'll click on this one. Yeah, new zone. Yeah. No, sorry. Yeah, reverse. Yeah, new zone. Next, we're going to do a primary zone. So the primary zone, we can configure here on this server. We don't need to go to another server. Click on next. The domain controller, I think that should be okay. That one's fine. We'll next, hang on a sec, running on a domain controller in this domain. Oh yeah, domain, yes. Yep, perfect. We're going to do IP version 4 reverse lookup zone. We're not doing IP6. This is the network ID 172.16.32. That's the subnet. And that's the reverse. That's what it looks like in reverse. It's backwards. And then, yep, I think we just next that. A best practice, yeah, so I'll answer that question another time for you, Zach. I'll get back to you though, because it's a bit of a long answer. A little bit complicated. No, not complicated, but it's just a bit long. Remind me, okay? Remind me. Then we'll click on next. I think we just keep nexting this all the default values until we're done. Yep. I'm just going to click on next default and then finish. But I was double checking something. Yep. Okay. Okay. Good. So I'm going to finish that. It shouldn't take too long. Perfect. All right. So now I'm going to. It says to create a resource record pointer for this server. We need to select and right-click here. So we're going to set up a pointer. Might do refresh there. Yep. Sometimes it's good to refresh stuff sometimes. So we'll do a new pointer there. And we're going to point that to that's the fully qualified domain name for the reverse lookup. We'll look for the host name. So what this means, okay? This is what it means. The host name, this is the host that we want that IP address to go to. So we're pointing it. This IP address points to this host name. If we change the host, we come back here and we change the host name if we want to keep that same IP address. So let's click on browse, find that one there, and okay, and okay again. That's why I said, let me try that again. Okay. And we go over down here, and I think it's DC1 still. Yeah, it's still there. That's the host record. Perfect. It's not. That wasn't clear in the lab guide, but that's the one we're chasing. We could have. I probably could have just typed it. If I typed it, that would have made sense more. But I want to show you how you can find it if you browse for it. All right. Now, by the way, no, actually, no, I won't go there. We won't go there now. And there's our reverse lookup, and there's it's pointing. That IP address will always point to that file server. If we get another server, another directory domain controller, we want to point this IP address to that Active Directory server. We come in here and we change the host name. And there's so many different reasons for doing that. The best practice, in my opinion, Zach, is to have the DNS, the main DNS, on the domain controller, and have a backup DNS server. I think would be a good good way. All right, fantastic. So that's that one. Now, what we're going to do is, wow, look at the time. Let's see if we can do task 2 at least, and the next one, and then I'll leave the rest to you. And I can give you some time now and then. Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be a good idea, Zach. That's a good practice. DNS should be on your Active Domain Controller because Active Directory needs DNS. If the domain controller is on the top of the forest, if it's the first one on the forest, it has to have a DNS at the beginning, and that's a good start. Then, as you build child domains, as you increase if you lower as you go down each level, you can have backup DNSs along the way. All right, so task 2 is install DNS server role and create the required secondary zone. Perfect. So let's go over to manage. Oh, hang on, sorry, my bad. I was just about to make a really bad mistake. Not a bad mistake because we've already done this, but we want to, I'm going to close this because I'm not going to come back for this in this lesson, but we need to go over to the secondary zone, kind of like a backup, I guess you could say. Server 1, yep, that one there. Right click, start that, and connect to it, and that'll load up now. Okay, so that's on its way now. It'll connect to that one. Perfect. We had some students from the last time this was run, saying that the labs are a little bit slow, but for the most part, they're not bad. It's not a bad lab. I think that you should also build your own labs at home as well. I have VMware that I use. I've got the hypervisor you saw. So I've got a couple of VMware virtual machines that I play around with. I've got the Proxmox server. So you don't have to get fancy, but just build your own little network. It's a good idea. All right. So let's do this. Server manager. I lose patience, and I shouldn't do this because see this blue button, how it goes in waves? You should wait till that finishes because I have crashed the server by clicking this page. Especially when it's red here, I go crazy. I'm like clicking on it. Yeah, so it's still going. I think I should, yeah, it's still doing its thing. Manage, add roles and features. I will then go to next. Go down to DNS server, add features, next, and install. Very easy. There's nothing much to this. Okay. All right. So I am going to. So I've got you guys all along the path for this one. There's a few more tasks after this. What I might do is next Wednesday. I'll try to come home earlier because I'm going to be at the Cisco live event. I'll try to get here 5:30 p.m. where we can do an hour and a half lesson to catch up on this, or maybe on the weekend, Friday evening or the weekend, we can do it in Discord and I'll record it. I'll get Loom or I'll get OBS and I'll record this video and then I can upload it to the other students who missed out because today we cut short the lab a bit because I had to introduce all the topics. Okay. All right. So this is, by the way, everything you do in the server is saved and it's persistent. It's a persistent virtual machine. So you will be able to save this unless your virtual machine crashes. And it's happened a couple of times where it just freezes and I had to reset it. So just, there is a possibility, you know, that might happen. Anyway, what will happen? It means it's better, good practice. You get to do all the labs over and over and over again. All right, team, I'm going to end the recording now. It's 7:01. So for those who just popped in, this is my Discord server. If you want to do some extra stuff, meet other people from my student, whatever. My pleasure. Anytime, Zach. Anyone questions, you know where to find me. Discussion boards. If you ask a question, discussion boards. If you email me, I can respond back to you between 24 and 48 hours, including the weekends, including public holidays. But if you message me on Discord, I'll get back to you in minutes. Like, I'm always on it, even when I shouldn't be. Okay. All right, everyone. You have an amazing day. I will see you when I see you. And yeah, it's been a great honor to meet you all, and I can't wait to see you the next time. Thank you, Justin, Hugo, and Pete, everyone. Catch you all later. I'm going to end the recording now.